The 10th day of Dhul Hijjah is the day of Eid. It's the day of the sacrifice. So you will pray Fajr at the very beginning of its time. So the sunnah is to pray Fajr at the very beginning of its time. It's permissible for women, for the elderly, for the sick, to leave before Fajr on that night and to go towards the Haram and to do their Tawaf al-Ifadah, to do their Tawaf al-Eid. It's actually permissible for people with exceptions and things of that sort. But it's not good for the entire group to do that. Okay? So those that need to leave before Fajr to beat the crowds can do that. But for the most part, stick with the group, inshallah ta'ala. And if the group that you're in decides to do that all together, then follow the group. But generally speaking, at least in our group, we don't do that. We wait until Fajr comes in to fulfill that sunnah, and we make a way for those that need to go early to go, inshallah ta'ala. But otherwise, the sunnah is to wait until Fajr. Then you depart Mina. Now you depart for Mina. Here's the thing about the day of Eid. The things that you need to do don't need to be done in any particular order. All right? So here's what you need to do on the day of Eid. All right? You need to stone Jamarat al-Aqaba. There are 3 pillars, 3 Jamarats. All right? You need to stone the last one, Jamarat al-Aqaba, on that day. Okay? You're going to need to trim your hair, cut your hair, or actually at that point shave. Right? You can shave or trim, it's up to you, but shaving is the sunnah. But you're going to need to exit out of your ihram at some point. You're going to need to do the sacrifice at some point. Okay? And then you have the tawaf, the main tawaf. And that can be done at any point over the next few days. So it doesn't have to be done on the 10th itself. It can be done on the 11th. It can be done on the 12th. It can be done on the 13th. All right? But on that day in particular, I usually don't recommend people to do tawaf on the day of Eid. It's really, really, really harsh. Really difficult. Most people try to do it on the 10th day. Really what you want to get done is you have to get done Jamarat al-Aqaba, the stoning of the last pillar. And you want to get done the sacrifice. The sacrifice will be done by whoever has been appointed to sacrifice. If you have contact with that person, you wait until they let you know. If you don't, then you make a safe assumption at some point during the day, whatever it is, that they were going to do it at some time during the day. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to head towards Jamarat al-Aqaba. We head towards the pillar. We stone. We get the call, inshallah ta'ala, that the sacrifice has been done. We exit out of our ihram. Even if you have not done tawaf, you will partially exit out of your ihram. What that means is the only thing that's haram for you, so you'll shave, you'll trim, you'll do all that type of thing. The only thing that's haram is intimacy between spouses at that point. You have partially exit out of ihram. You can go back to wearing your regular clothes. You can go back to using cologne, perfume. You can go back to trimming, your nails, whatever it may be. All of that becomes halal. The only thing that's left for you is what? Tawaf. To do the tawaf of Hajj, the main tawaf that you have to do. I typically tell people that it is it's a good idea to wait until the 11th, the 12th, whatever it may be. It's going to be crowded no matter what, but to go out at those times is usually better. Or for the elderly, for the sisters that need to have it done, for the sick, whatever it is, the night of Muzdalifah. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really, really crowded on the 10th day. So you'll depart for Jamarat al-Aqaba. You'll depart for Mina and you depart to Jamarat al-Aqaba. It's a long, long, long walk. It takes quite a bit of time. Everyone is going usually in the morning. So that's actually the stampede last year happened at that time. Okay? The stampede happened, and obviously it happened for other circumstances, but that's a really rough time. Everyone is proceeding towards Jamarat al-Aqaba on the morning of the 10th. When you go to Jamarat al-Aqaba, you will throw 7 stones. I tell people this, and please remember this. All right, so here are the Jamarat, the water bottles. Okay? When you come in, here's what you're going to see. You're going to see some people that for some reason want to stone the other 2, just to get their early shots on shaitan, on the different shayateen. And then as you're walking, you are the bottle cap, as you're walking, most people what they do is they go directly at the jamra like this. So there's this huge crowd of people that are stoning, and it looks overwhelming. All you have to do, and trust me, and you're gonna question it initially because you're gonna wonder if it's really true. It's never failed me. It never failed any of my groups. All you do is you walk around that crowd and come back this way. You guys understand this? You're gonna have the Jamarat to your right. Walk around. Don't go directly with the crowd. Walk around the crowd. You can walk up to the Jamarat and you can stone there without that huge crowd. It's safer. It's easy, inshaAllah ta'ala. Please don't hit me with your stones. I get hit every single year at the Jamarat by people that are throwing from far away, right? Or that for some reason think I'm shaitan. But, otherwise, again, just walk around, inshaAllah ta'ala. As you get there, you simply would say, Allahu Akbar, as you throw with each stone. Try not to stand in front of the Jamrah. There's no need to make dua at that point, to stand in front of there's just stone and move on, inshaAllah ta'ala. The stoning can be done anytime after sunrise on that day. Now you exit your ihram, and the only thing left once again is tawaf al-ifadah, the main tawaf of Hajj, inshaAllah ta'ala. And the Prophet ﷺ allowed for any sequence, as we said. Any sequence of these events is fine, inshaAllah ta'ala. Any sequence is fine, but that's usually the most logical one and the one that we're going to do. So that's the day of Eid. What's left for you is that one tawaf al-ifadah. Okay? What about women that are on their cycle? They can do everything but tawaf. Everything but tawaf, inshaAllah ta'ala. Again. Now you have the 11th to the 13th of Dhul Hijjah. By the way, we're getting to the end, inshaAllah ta'ala. You have the 11th to the 13th of Dhul Hijjah. These are called Ayyam al-Tashreeq. These are days of dhikr. They're days of remembrance of Allah. And these are days that are typically, the sunnah is to spend them in Mina. The requirement for these days is to spend half of the night in Mina. At least half of the night in Mina. So if you have accommodations in Aziziyah or you have accommodations in Mecca and you left, then you need to make sure that you spend half of the night in Mina. What is half of the night from a Shari'i perspective, from a technical perspective? Anybody know? It's Maghrib to Fajr divided by 2. Maghrib is when the night starts. Fajr is when the night ends. Half of that time needs to be spent in Mina. Okay? At least half of that time. Every day you're going to stone 3 Jamarat. So you'll go to all 3 of them at that point, and you will stone each one with 7 stones. The timing of the stoning is after Dhuhr time. Now, it does not end at Maghrib. So I want to make a very important clarification here. The time is not Dhuhr to Maghrib, the time is after Dhuhr. Okay? So if a person wanted to go later on, there are many narrations of companions that went later on after Salat al-Maghrib and things of that sort, inshaAllah ta'ala. That's fine, inshaAllah. At late Asr, after Asr, that's all fine as well. The worst time to go is after Dhuhr, because that's when a lot of people go, that's when the major traffic is. Going before Dhuhr is really not something that we find a precedence for, unless obviously there's overcrowding and the authorities announce that they have to really space it out. But otherwise, going later on, inshaAllah ta'ala, is easy. It's not sunnah to go to Mecca during this time. Right? So it's not sunnah to just go and pray in the Kaaba and things of that sort. The sunnah is to take the time of dhikr, inshaAllah ta'ala, and to use that time wisely. If a person is sick or a person has a difficulty getting to the Jamarat, and a lot of people pass out on the way to the Jamarat, and it's a really harsh walk, especially if you're coming from the North American camps. You're talking about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half to get there. All right? With the crowd sometimes, and it's hot. It's okay to appoint someone to throw on your behalf. No issue whatsoever. So especially for those that are sick, that are ill, the elderly, a person would simply throw on their behalf, inshaAllah ta'ala, when they get there. They don't go 1, 2, 3. So it's not like 1, 2, 3, and then go back to the front, 1, 2, 3. Simply that person will throw 14, 14, 14 instead of 7, 7, 7. So 7 for themselves, 7 for that other person. Please, if you're sick, our brothers and sisters that are elderly, don't put yourself through that stress on that day if it's going to be difficult for you on those particular days when it comes to the stoning. It's okay to appoint someone else, inshaAllah ta'ala, to do so. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us an option. You can leave Mina on the 12th. فَمَنْ تَعَجَّلَ فِي يَوْمَيْنِ. You can leave on the 12th or you can leave on the 13th. However, if you're going to leave on the 12th, you need to be out of Mina by Maghrib. You need to be out of Mina by Maghrib. So you need to stone on the 12th before Maghrib and safely be out of Mina by Maghrib. It is not sinful. فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. It doesn't decrease from your reward. It's fine. And inshallah ta'ala, honestly, it's a very good option for a person to take. It's what our group does, what most of the groups do, is to actually do ta'ajjul, to leave on the 12th, inshallah ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to leave on the 12th or to leave on the 13th. You can leave on the 12th or you can leave. مَنْ تَأَخَّرَ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. You could stay until the 13th. If you stay until the 13th, what do you need to do? You have to wait until Dhuhr and you have to stone. Okay, so if you leave on the 12th, you have to leave before what time? Maghrib. If you leave on the 13th, you have to wait until what time? Dhuhr. And then you stone and then you leave. Our group, inshallah ta'ala, will stone on the 12th and then we'll head to Aziziyah. We'll walk down to Aziziyah, inshallah, and we'll stay in Aziziyah and we'll do ta'ajjul, inshallah ta'ala.